Students, in today's video, we are going to see the relationship between delta H and delta U for chemical reactions. Now first, let us see what is delta H. Delta H is the enthalpy change, or we also call it as heat at constant pressure. And what is delta U? Delta U is the internal energy change, or it is the heat at constant volume. So those are the two heats what we will be discussing and their relationship. So for that, first equation what we use is at constant pressure delta H and delta U, they are related by an equation, and that is delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V. Students, you know that if the physical states or the reaction involves solid or liquids, then usually delta V has a very small change which can be neglected. Means what, students? Solids or liquids do not show volume change with change in pressure. And for solids and liquids, we say that delta H is equal to delta U. But for the gaseous reactions, this delta V change cannot be neglected. And therefore, the reactions involving gases, delta V cannot be neglected. If it cannot be neglected, means there must be some relation between delta H and delta U. So let us see what is that relation. So according to this equation, delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V. What is delta V? Delta V is V2 minus V1. Now what is V2? V2 is, we call this as final volume, or it is the volume of the product. And then what will be V1? This is the initial volume or volume of reactants. So delta V is equal to V2 minus V1. Let us substitute this value in place of delta V and let us see what you get. So delta H is equal to delta U plus P V2 minus V1. Now I can multiply this to this and this to this. Let us see what you get. So delta H is equal to delta U plus PV2 minus PV1. Let us mark this as equation 1. Here I am getting PV and PV. There is an equation for gas phase, that is the ideal gas equation for n moles, and therefore applying the ideal gas equation. So according to ideal gas equation for n moles, PV is equal to nRT. Now here I have to replace this V2 and V1. So let us make this equation also in initial and final state, considering N1 as the moles of the gaseous reactants produced and N2 as the moles of the gaseous products. So introducing that, let us say this. So equation in the initial state, I can write it as PV is equal to N1 RT, because students, if you see this, I said that pressure will remain constant when you are studying enthalpy. So let us mark this as this, and PV2 is equal to N2 RT. Now why we kept the pressure constant? Because enthalpy, if you see this, it is the heat at constant pressure, and so you have to keep the pressure constant. So let us write here pressure remains constant. Now what is V1 is the initial volume, or you can call it as the reactants, and this is the final volume. You can call this as the volume of the products. So let us substitute the value of PV1 and PV2 in equation 1 and let us see what you get. So you have delta H is equal to delta U plus N2 RT minus N1 RT. Why the R and T remains constant? Because temperature of the system will remain constant throughout, and this is the gas constant which will not change. So let us see what you get. Delta H is equal to delta U plus, here I can take out RT as the common, so I get N2 minus N1 RT. What is N2 minus N1 will give me delta N. As we are considering the gaseous state, I'll mark this as delta N gaseous. So delta H is equal to delta U plus delta N RT. So this is what is the equation for N moles of the gaseous system, the relationship between delta H and delta U. Now let us see what the terms which are involved in the expression. So here delta H is the enthalpy change. What is delta U is the internal energy change. What is R? R is the gas constant whose value is fixed. Usually for this calculations we consider the value of R in J or kJ. That is 8.314 or 8.314 into 10 raised to minus 3 kJ per mole per Kelvin. What is T here? T is the temperature in Kelvin. Now what is delta N here? So delta N here is the number of moles of the gaseous products minus the number of moles of the gaseous reactants. So this is very, very important, students, that it is always the gaseous physical state what you will consider to calculate the delta N. So this is about the delta H and delta U relation. Let us see something more related to delta N and try to get the shortcut to solve the MCQ questions. So students, let us see some of the sign conventions. So we have the equation delta H is equal to delta U plus delta N RT. Now here, if I see the sign convention for delta H, then if your delta H value is positive, means H2 is greater than H1 and the reaction in that case will be endothermic in nature. While if delta H is negative, then your H1 value will be greater than H2 and the reaction will be exothermic in nature. So why it is important? When it is endothermic reaction, then the reactants, they are more stable as compared to products, while if the reaction is exothermic, then the products will be more stable as compared to reactants. The second sign convention about this is related to delta N. Now, depending upon the sign convention of delta N, let us see how you can predict the relations between delta H and delta U. For that, if your delta N value is a positive value, when it will be positive, when N2 is greater than N1, then in that case, delta H will be greater than delta U. When delta N is a negative value, then N1 is greater than N2, then in that case, delta U is greater than delta H. And when delta N is equal to 0, then delta H is equal to delta U. So you can use this particular concept for solving your MCQs. Let us take one example and try to simplify this. For that, I am taking the formation of PCl5. So PCl3 gas plus Cl2 gas gives you PCl5 gaseous. Now students, here I have to calculate the delta N value. So delta N here will be 1 plus 1, that is 2, and on the product side I have 1. So what will be your delta N value will be 1 minus 2, so that is minus 1. Now as the value is negative, if you see this, that your delta N value is negative, and therefore for this delta U must be greater than delta H. So if some values are given, you can compare accordingly and then simplify the answer on the basis of this. So let us take one more example and see what it is. The example is combustion of methane. So combustion of methane will be methane plus oxygen giving carbon dioxide plus water. Now the important question is the physical state of water. Until and unless the question demands, you have to consider this water in the liquid phase. So let us take this gaseous, gaseous and gaseous. Second very important thing, you have to balance the equation. So how to balance the equation? You can refer to stoichiometric chemistry, or you have to keep this as 1 mole and then you have to balance the equation. So let us balance the equation here. It will be in this way. So it will be 1 carbon, 4 hydrogen, and 4 oxygen, 4 oxygen. Now calculate delta N here. So delta N will be 1 mole of this. So it will be 1 minus, it will be 2 plus 1. So that is 3. So that will be minus 2. Now as delta N is negative, here also your delta U value will be more than delta H. So this is how you have to use the concept of delta N to give the relation between delta H and delta U. I hope you have understood this particular derivation for the relationship between delta H and delta U through ideal gas equation and various other terms which are involved in the expression. So please do like this video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you students.